Hey everyone, welcome to the pre-season chat with the in-game Racing Point team with team principal Siknig, drivers KDB and reserve driver TK Speedy here as well. So what's up boys? And let's start off with pre-season testing. Let's get right into it. Probably with Siknig first off. What did you think about pre-season testing as a whole? How did you think your drivers and you yourself did?
So to begin with, preseason testing was fun and it was great to be back, firstly. And the obviously everyone is a little rusty and I'm sorry, Rusty, for that incident. But yeah, you know, I'd say there is a lot of there are a lot of different people around us now, and having all these people like General Pepe and etc. etc. Looking at everyone's pace, it's like very difficult to decide who's fast or who's not. But everyone are trying to show their potential, obviously. Like Big Man Joe was like, underplaying and all of that. But let's see. I gotta look at Australia first and then maybe decide everyone's pace, to be honest.
Okay, all right. KDB, how did you feel about preseason testing?
A lot of fun. It was good to be back in a full lobby after so long. I don't know how long it's been since season three. Yeah, the races were a lot of fun. I inadvertently screwed up both of my quali laps in both of the races, as is my tradition, and it was sort of like a last to first challenge for me, a last to question mark challenge. We all know what happened in the first race, last corner of the last lap. I collided with Ferraro. Other than that, it was a lot of fun. Preseason testing, yeah, I missed it a lot.
All right, more on that incident later. TK Speedy, new to the league. How did preseason testing go for you? And initial thoughts about the league itself?
Very professional than what I was expecting. So I was very impressed by everybody on a whole. And then as for preseason testing, it being my first online race, I think I did all right. I was a little rusty in practice, but I guess I picked up on the pace. P10 wasn't bad. Had a couple penalties, but apart from that, I think it was pretty good.
First online race, so you haven't really been part of a league as such before?
That is correct. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. Uh, let's go straight to that incident then before moving on to other things. KDB, you were pushing to the max, that's for sure. And it seemed like a podium set out, even though it was just a mock race, so to speak, after one of the preseason test sessions. But that incident, last corner, want to shed some light on it?
Uh, I don't really have much light to share other than the fact that I spun. Basically, I was giving it my all, and I found out from Ronak RP Ferralo that he was running out of fuel, so he was running on lean mixture basically, or maybe low fuel mode. I'm not sure. Whatever the case, I gained like 2 seconds on him in the last two sectors, maybe something like that. It was really crazy. So I was even more excited going into the last corner. Somehow got a good exit, got to his inside somehow, but I thought he wasn't going to leave me room, so I stuck to the inside of the corner, but uh, it didn't work out quite so well. So my tires eventually gave up, and I spun and I hit the barrier, and the car literally got stuck there. I thought I'll roll back and maybe finish the line because the line is pretty close to the last corner. So I thought I'd cross the line in reverse in style in P3, but my car just stuck to the barrier and I couldn't do anything.
That would have been a cool clip, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Uh, okay, going straight into the season itself. Uh, thoughts on the current grid? I know Siknik's already shared his thoughts by saying that you can't say much until we're there on at Australia, the first race this weekend. Uh, but tell us about competitors wise, personal thoughts. Who do you think might be close competitors for y'all individually? Let's start off with TK Speedy. You're new to the league. You've seen a bunch of them race. Go ahead.
Honestly, trying to aim for P15 and above would be fine since this is the first few races I've been in. P10 last time was great. I think that was only because I had a great qualification. So I was able to I was able to maintain pace and just stay in that position. I'm not too sure about everybody in the league, so I apologize. I couldn't answer your question directly, but P10 to P15 would be a great start starting off in the season, and then below 10 with a points finish would be great.
All right. Okay. That's good to hear. We got an idea of who your competitors might be either way, and I'm pretty sure they know too after watching this chat. KDB, clearly you've got a different kind of teammate this time around with Sicknick or TK Speedy, depending on who might come alongside you. I'm pretty confident that you'll be there at every race
I'll try to.
for most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
I'll try to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just thoughts going into in terms of just team partnership, and of course back to the question I had asked: competitors, close competitors for you, since it is equal performance and you are no longer
Yeah.
in a realistic performance,
Oh
Williams.
God, that was horrible. But I
Sorry to
remember last
remind
season.
you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's gone. So last season, I remember racing with Sicknick on a lot of occasions in my Williams, and he was in the Red Bull. So I have a pretty good idea of how he is on track, and so I don't think we'll have that much of a problem getting up to speed with each other. Obviously, Tashi is all new to this game and new to online racing and everything, so I don't know about him. But to answer your second question, General Pepe is obviously the first name that comes to mind as my sort of target to hit. Other than that, I think UK and Daniel, Big Man Joe, they both have been getting up to speed really, really quickly. And I'd say towards the later half of the season, we'd really see some competition up at the top. But General Pepe is the man to beat right now for me.
Okay. And can I get a quick thought on just Big Manjo's pace in preseason testing? And he had been mentioning pretty clearly that he feels he lacks pace because he's on the wheel now compared to all the experience he had on the controller. What do you think?
Sandbag, big, heavy
Plus
sandbag.
one on that. Yeah, he's right, dude. We know you. We know what he knows. And come on.
Because he'll be aiming at getting that constructor's title once again. So, Sicknig, what are the plans, the game plan, so to speak,
So-
for the constructor's title? Is there one?
Okay, so there is not a plan, but I'd say what I would be thinking right now is a very Max Verstappen Albon relationship, which I have in my team. So we could be aiming for the top three for the constructors at least, and obviously it depends on the first 4 or 5 races. We decide the pace of the season for each and every team. So let's wait out to decide that drivers championship place, because I cannot comment on that right now, is my statement right now.
All right. All right. And I have to ask because it kind of came up earlier. Going into Australia, will we see TK Speedy on track?
Yes, that
Yes,
was
I apologize. You can go ahead, Mr.
yeah.
Team Principal.
So yes, TK Speedy will be joining us for Australia, and as much as I'm glad to say this, but I regret to inform you all that will be his only race in the season, and because he will be departing for the United States on the 15th of this month. So that is all.
Okay. All right. So great. So is it going to be? So now the question is going to arise, and you can keep people in the dark for this. Is it going to be TK Speedy and KDB, or is it going to be TK Speedy and Sicknig on track? But I guess we'll have to wait till Australia for
Yeah.
that. Yep. And who do you think are close competitors for you, Sicknig?
So if you go to the last season,
For you?
the third season of BRL, so my teammate was Srivatsan. So we both were similar on quali pace, and you could clearly see that on the Mexican quali times. We had P2, P3, and it was one of the best starts we ever had, to be honest. And I can say Srivatsan is one of those people who has a little similar driving style. He's a little aggressive at times and gets a little too comfortable on the track. So I would say Srivatsan and me are as a tie in terms of rivalry. So that's my target. I want to be better than him, and obviously Rustinish comes into that league as well. Rustinish and Gots. So the four of us are like the people who could be, I would say, the mid-range drivers, and those are my competitors for now. And KDB
Okay.
obviously is aiming for the top 5. So I come right behind him, so I'm helping him out in that way.
Okay. So you mentioned that group,
Yes.
right? So Freeze has been lately showing some incredible pace. At least that's what I heard from Gouts and Rusty Nish as well. What are your thoughts on Freeze?
Yep. I think KDB has raced more with Freeze than me in unranked. Have you? So I KDB, you answer it. To be honest, I haven't raced him that much, so I cannot comment that well.
KDB, you're on mute.
Yeah, ever since he got his new laptop. Yeah, ever since he got his new laptop, his pace has been incredible. Like the comparison, he used to be at the back of the grid, and now he's always like near the mid or near the like even challenging for podiums. We all know what happened in France. He pulled off this amazing one stopper. I don't know, what 20 something laps on mediums, old mediums. So he definitely has he has what it takes. But I think the input device is limiting him a little bit. He's not on a wheel. So I don't think we have seen the true Freeze yet.
Okay. That was great to hear from all of y'all. We asked the members of the league for a couple of questions to pose to the teams as a whole. So let me just pull that up for y'all. Racing Point. There you go. Yep. So how many DNFs will Sika be responsible for this season? Someone was pretty critical. Want to share a bit on
If
your
I
driving
answer the
style and how
question,
this
will I get to
person,
know
whoever
who
it
asked me
is,
that question? Do we have that
actually,
confidentiality or something?
nope. No, we didn't even ask who was gonna. We didn't even ask them to fill in a field for names, so we'll never know.
Okay, so
Maybe we can guess.
maybe firstly to comment on the DNF part. Yes, in the last season I've had many DNFs, more than 8 or 9, I think. So what my aim was towards the end of the season, if you guys noticed, I did not retire a lot. I tried to finish each and every race, and that is what was the plan with me and Srivasan. That's what we focused on, finishing the race. The output does not matter, how much ever effort you've put. That is all what matters to us. So I'd say this season I'd be driving a little safer, and I will show a little low aggression and better, output. So let's see. And I'd say if you want a specific number or what?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so
You don't
I'll
need.
say lower than last season, obviously.
No. Yep.
That's at
More
least
points
one.
finishes.
Yeah, I hope it's not with you,
Just
obviously.
hopefully. KDB, you do have a question for you here. But you pretty much answered it that you are his competitor. But there is a question asking, is KDB prepared to challenge General Pepe for the championship? So probably yes or no would be decent enough.
I'm prepared to challenge. I'm looking forward to challenge him, but I don't know if I can challenge him. That's the question.
He just tricked you, bro. Checkmate.
I can't wait for this weekend at this rate. Couple of other questions. Your ideal top 10. So your ideal top 10 in terms of ranking the teams themselves. So instead of top 10, let's get an idea of top 3, just based on pace.
P1's got to be Racing Point. That's ideal for all of us, I think.
P2, P3, आप लोग decide.
Okay. Simple. That was real quick. That question got answered real quick. TKSP, tell us about the Australian try. Have you been practicing? How's it been going?
I think practice starts from tomorrow, but yeah, I'm very excited to show pace there. Obviously, I've played single player on the game, so I've raced around almost every circuit. So I'm not scared about the circuit. It's just about racing with actual human beings and then them making mistakes and you reacting to them. So that's the only thing that I think I will be learning over the season. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Um, of course, going into the season itself, would you like to predict something? So I asked your team principal already in the post-bid chat, so that's pretty much sorted. So TK Speedy, would you like to predict anything at all? If it's about the league, about the drivers, about your teammates, or about your team, go ahead, shoot.
So from what I've seen, I have two conclusions to make. I'll be making about my team since I know them somewhat. One would be that KDB would be carrying us. He's going to be our Verstappen, and then it'll be me and Sicknig as Albon. And then second would be that Sicknig might still stick with the torpedo nickname that he was given from last season, but we'll see.
All right, pretty neat predictions there. KDB, what about you, if any?
Uh, I'd say, okay, it's a little more vague than what Tashi said, but I think a new entrant in the league in this season is going to win at least one race. That's going to
All
happen.
right,
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's a
all right.
Okay,
yeah, I
I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
that includes General Pepe. I mean, excluding General Pepe.
All right. Quick save.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for talking to me, boys. I can't wait to see you all out on track. Right before we go, though, Sicknig, anything you'd like to say to Sri Watson right before the start of the season?
Don't
SV11,
drink tea on
the
the track.
old pal.
Remember last season?
Okay, that's a story I'll have to bring up at some pre-race chat or maybe post-race chat, depending on where y'all finish. But
Yeah.
yeah, wonderful way to end it. Thank you, boys, for joining me. See you all out on track, and good luck for the season. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.